Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening. We are doing our PIPES training tonight. We're starting with prepare. So the PIPES series is all about prepare, invite, present, enroll, and support. And they're the rank-making activities that are going to create success in your business. Alison, I'm getting a little bit of feedback your end. Do you just want to mute yourself while I talk and then unmute yourself? Cool. So, yeah, we've got Alison Bartolo with us tonight, who is one of our amazing diamond leaders. And as I mentioned, pipes are really the rank-making activities in your business. So repeating these activities consistently on a daily basis and just, yeah, continuing along that line, being consistent, doing the work, showing up is really what creates momentum in your business. I always say building a doTERRA business is the definition of insanity, because you're doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. But you actually do get a different result. It's the same activities at an elite level as it is at a diamond level. Showing up, doing the classes, supporting your people, doing the business training. Obviously, as you go along, you get better and better at these, because practice makes not perfect, but it does help you get better at what you're doing. So Alison has prepared an awesome PowerPoint for us this evening, so I'll hand over to her and I'll put myself on mute. Alison, make sure you unmute yourself.
Yeah, I just saw that. Thank you. Can you hear me now? Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'll jump back to the presentation. Here we go. So yeah, we're jumping straight into the presentation. P for prepare. Thank you so much, Jessie. And I just want to say, like, everything that I know about doTERRA is pretty much from just watching your YouTube videos. So this is just kind of a culmination of all the stuff I've learned. So thank you so much for that. So P is for prepare. So failing to prepare is really preparing to fail. So this is such a critical and important part of the business. And if we skip this step, then you're really going to be creating so much more work for yourself. I like the other quote that's don't wait until you feel motivated, because those who succeed take action whether you feel like it or not. And really think about your commitment to doTERRA. Are you in this to earn a full-time income or more? In which case you need to treat this like a full-time experience. And if you are in this as a hobby and you just love it and enjoy it, then you know, treat it that way, and then just expect to receive the financial rewards from it, and you know, in that respect as well. So what are you actually preparing yourself for? Well, you're preparing two things. The first one is yourself, and the second one is your business. So we're going to go through both of those today. So if you've been in doTERRA longer than about 5 minutes, you're going to have heard along the way that you have to have a why, and you need to know your why, and you need to find your why. So this probably isn't new to you, but it really is absolutely critical that you have a reason that is so much bigger than yourself for doing this business. So if you watch Simon Sinek, he's got a really fantastic little 5-minute YouTube video that's called Start With Why. And it goes through why people, well, how people don't buy your what, or people don't buy what you're buying, they buy why you're doing it. So it's so important that your true deep desires and passions come through in everything you do. Your why is going to prepare you for bad days, the days where no one enrolls, and the days we have classes and no one shows up, which every single person in doTERRA has those days. So you just need to have something that's going to pull you through those. It propels you through to overcome your limiting beliefs. So we all start out with these crazy thoughts in our head, and they still crop up the whole way through. Like, I'm not qualified enough, I don't have enough time for doTERRA, or I'm not healthy enough to be teaching people about health. So all of that is, you know, it's really common to start with these things. And the thing that helps you through all these things is not only your why, but your mindset around that. So really in doTERRA, you move from, well, potentially, maybe you've already started, but most people who are stuck in a normal job will have a fixed mindset. So this is where you just get on with your job, and you maybe, you know, you don't want to grow any further from there. So with a growth mindset, you are embracing challenges and learning from your failures. And this is really where you turn your limiting beliefs into reasons why you should be doing this. So I want to have more time. You know, I'm going to have more time with my family if I do doTERRA. I'm going to end up healthier if I do doTERRA. So it's all the reasons why you should actually do it. This Growth mindset is also about turning your problems into solutions. So, you know, you can maybe say, oh, it's the school holidays over Easter, so I'm just not going to run any classes because everyone goes away. Well, you could think like that and just sort of, you know, sit in that fixed mindset. Or you could say, well, not 100% of people go away over Easter. So with the people that are left, what do they want? Like, can we maybe think of doing some actual school holiday workshops that, you know, get kids involved with craft and making their own blends or something like that? So it really is just about flipping your mindset upside down. So when you have a growth mindset, this is something that's growing, then anything that's growing needs watering and needs loving. So how do we water and nourish this growth mindset? And we're going to go through a few things now. So the first one is really reading. It is so important that you key into these incredible resources. So I've just put up here just a few key books that are really good to start if you're just starting out in the business. So we've got GoPro by Eric Worre, The Slight Edge, Being the Starfish, Big Magic, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, Get Off the Bench by Justin Harrison, and The Law of Divine Compensation. So this is just a snapshot of some of the first ones you should be reading in your first year. There's heaps more at sharesuccess.com/library, and they have a whole stack of books according to what rank you're at. It, you know, it gives you book suggestions. That's a really, really great, fantastic resource. Personally, for me, I hate reading. Not I hate reading, that's wrong, but I actually fall asleep when I read a book. So I actually find listening to audiobooks is much easier, and I also find it's way more proactive of my time. So I'm driving to workshops at least 2 or 3 times a week on a quiet week. So that time when I'm driving to workshops and from workshops, I'm literally reading, and that's time I wouldn't be able to do anything else in terms of growing my business. So it's a really good time to be able to use that. So Audible is the one I use, and there are other ones that you can use as well. So other things that you can do to really move forward and enhance this growth mindset is goal setting. So I just want to, you know, goal setting is something we would think, yeah, I'll set my goals, and you might spend 5 minutes thinking, well, I want to be elite, or I want to be diamond, or whatever it is, and write out some other goals in your life. But I just read a brilliant book called The Art of Exceptional Living by Jim Rohn, and he really nuts down into goal setting and says, well, what are your health goals, and what are your investment goals, what are your travel goals, what are your family goals, what are your goals for giving and sharing? Who would you like to meet? Like, what skills do you want to develop? Like, do you want to write a book? Do you want to be debt free? Is there something you'd like to prove? And, you know, are you here to make a mark on the planet? What, would you like to make new friends? And would you like to be a person of influence? So there's so many more. You can really dig deep into goal setting and really get clear on your absolute intentions for the rest of your life. And it's really important that your goals are aligned with your why and with your purpose, so that you're actually moving forward to your ultimate outcome. So writing out I am statements each day, because a lot of us do start out with a lot of these limiting beliefs, like I'm not healthy, or I haven't got enough time. It's really important that we watch our language, because all the language that we use, the universe responds with exactly the same as what we're saying. So if you're saying I don't have enough time, you are going to be presented with more and more situations where you don't have enough time. So we want to flip the language, flip the mindset, and say, you know, I have more than enough time to accomplish everything that I'm setting out to achieve this year or this day or whatever that is. So it's about writing these out. If you write these out each day, then it will change your energy and change what comes towards you, because that's what you're sending out. You can also write what you're wanting to attract, but not wanting. So we change it from wanting to actually attracting. So I am attracting new business builders with really specific qualities. So I am attracting capable, purposeful, hungry, passionate, loving, joy-filled people into my business, or whatever it is that you how you see your business. You use those words and write it out each day. We personally have a big mirror in our ensuite bathroom, and we write with whiteboard marker on it every day what our intentions are and what we are attracting into our life. And what's really important is to then sit back and actually read that and sink it in, because I found I was just writing it each day but then not really feeling into it each and every day, which is, it's the feeling it that really attracts it. So there's lots of other really tiny things that you can do, like you can change the screensavers on your laptop, on your phone, to diamonds or whatever it is that you're attracting into your life. Your passwords can all be related to your goals and to what you're moving towards. So everything in your energy and intention is what you are attracting, and you'll notice a massive shift. And we can also use oils and crystals for that. And I was hoping, Jessie, you might be able to share a little bit about how you use oils and crystals for your goal setting.
Yeah, sure. So I love using the manifestation blend, and I use for that wild orange, patchouli, and ginger. Wild orange is the oil of abundance. Patchouli is the oil of physicality or being present in your physical body, and ginger is the oil of empowerment. So take a drop of each in your hands and rub your hands together and breathe that deeply as you're doing your journaling and writing out your statements. So the way I think about writing, as Alison mentioned, writing I attract, or I am silver on or before Feb 28, 2018 with ease and grace. And I personally enroll people who are ready to get started right now, who are amazing at enrolling people, who are amazing at helping their team members enroll people, who are team players, who, show up and do personal development, who come to events, who are a joy to work with. So literally you can be working on this all the time. It's not something you do once a year when you hear it on a webinar, but as Alison mentioned, regularly, and then really feeling into it. And I've attracted some incredible people into my business using that strategy. I also use citrine, which is the crystal of abundance as well. So I'll have that near me when I'm journaling and when I'm working. I'll have it on my desk, and you can obviously diffuse the blend as well while you're journaling and while you're writing out the things that you are already grateful for. So I find it's really important to reflect on all you have achieved, even if that's just showing up to this webinar or enrolling your first ever person or doing your first class. Really reflect on and congratulate yourself for that, rather than feeling bad about what you haven't achieved yet. And one of my favorite quotes of all time is by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it's start before you're ready and before you're good at it. And that's how you get ready, and that's how you get good at it. Also with personal development resources, as Alison was mentioning, she uses Audible. Another great thing you can do is listen to podcasts. So Whole Fit, HOL UED-FIT, is by Presidential Diamond and Peters, and it's a fantastic podcast. And Action Catalyst is one I heard of recently as well, which is also brilliant to listen to. So just some more tips on that. Thanks, Alison. Back to you.
Awesome. Well, I was going to push it back to you, if that's all right, to talk about some tapping as well. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Absolutely. So I'm extremely passionate about using tapping. Alison was mentioning before that we can have limiting beliefs and blocks when we start our business, and all the way through our business. I'm still dealing with limiting beliefs and challenges on a very regular basis. So I love using tapping and EFT because it only takes 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Brad Yates, I've always used his YouTube channel throughout my business and looked up things like money magnet or I'm worthy or whatever I'm feeling into. I just, like, if I don't have enough time, jump on YouTube, Brad Yates, and type in time and see what comes up, and he has some amazing resources. But I have created a specific network marketing course to dive into tapping as well. And we just ran our second round of that and had some amazing feedback. So some of the things that were said about that. Thank you, Jessie and Brad, so much for this course. It has been so amazing. It's really helping me move through some powerful blocks that I've had for years. Thanks so much for putting it together and introducing me to tapping. Another one was, thank you, Brad and Jessie. I really enjoyed these videos as I'm fairly new to tapping. So many areas you addressed were spot on for me. I will be encouraging my downlines to explore tapping with you as well to help them get over the many blocks most of us have. Looking forward to feeling and seeing positive changes in myself and an amazing year. So that was just a couple of the feedback, and we had like a massive amount of comments saying how much this resource has helped people to really clear their blocks. And the blocks we go into are like worrying about what other people think and feeling like we're not going to find any business builders, and feeling guilt about spending time and money on our business and away from our family, not feeling like a good enough leader, attaching to rank. Like literally I did a lot of market research on my own blocks that I experienced building doTERRA, but also asked in a lot of groups and different forums what blocks were coming up for other people. and the results we've had have been amazing. It really clears away the stuff so you can actually go out there and take action, because a lot of people know what to do in their business. They actually understand pipes and how to sample and how to share and how to run classes, but their fear paralyzes them. So if we can get rid of the fear and just be peeling back the layers of the onion and clearing that away so we can go and take massive action, that's really helpful. So you can jump on the wait list for the next round of our tapping course. Alison has shared the link in her post here, and I can email it out as well. But yeah, we're starting the next round 1st of May, and it has been amazing. But in the meantime, just even using Brad Yates' free videos on YouTube is extremely helpful for your business and getting rid of these blocks and fears that might hold you back. Thanks, Alison.
Yeah, thanks, Jessie. And I took part in the first round of that. And up until that point, I had just been using Brad on YouTube, and it was, you know, really, really fantastic. But then to be able to jump into that group, which was literally just absolutely nailed every single block that I was feeling about doing this business, like it was just absolutely so spot on. And to have them all there in one group is just really, it was such a valuable resource. So yeah, highly recommended. So the next thing we can do to really help with our moving forward is to create a vision board. So this is something that everyone should be pretty familiar, but it's again just about putting things out there in front of your face that you can see every single day. And I created one probably 18 months ago now, and I'd say 90% of everything that's on there has reactualized into my life, which is pretty incredible. And then yeah, you just keep updating it with your new goals and your new passions and things that you want to bring into there. So it's important to have long range and short range goals on there to keep to keep the momentum there. But again, it's really important to drink it in. So it's not something you just create one day, like chuck it up on the wall and then just walk past it back and forth. Like it's something you need to sit there and actually absorb and feel the feelings of the pictures that you have on there and feel where you're going, because it's that creates the energy around where you're going. So the next thing to do is to really, really honor self-love and self-care. So I just think it's so important to build this into your business from the start. It's not about, well, waiting until you're diamond or waiting until whatever excuse or block you're putting in the way for you to actually start nourishing yourself. You know, everyone knows the old sayings, but you can't fill up your cup, you know, can't fill up your cup from an empty cup or fill up others, or whatever the saying is. So it's so important that we take time. And I feel that self-care is basically what a lumberjack does in the morning. He sharpens his tool before he cuts down the trees. You're going to spend so much longer in the day chopping down the trees with a blunt tool than just taking that time at the beginning of the day to really honor and nurture yourself and find your energy and intention. So self-care can be anything. It can be meditation, going for a walk, doing yoga or Pilates, or literally just sitting. Like it's okay to just sit and breathe and just just take some time out that's totally and utterly about you and not about anyone else. And it's just so important to build that in right now to your business. So next I want to talk about the Belief Summit. So I don't know whether you've seen this. This is part of on Share Success, but this really goes how whatever rank you are is really quite aligned with a specific belief. And I have just found that every single one of these is absolutely spot on for where I've been in the business. And I know a lot of other people have given that same feedback. So building yourself to elite is really about belief in the product, about the oils. To premier is about the company, and silver becomes about that belief in yourself. And you get to the silver rank, and it is impossible to move on without having done or without actively doing the personal development and building, and growing yourself. So the foundation back at this elite is again about falling in love with the oils and with doTERRA. So it's just really important to just get passionate. And the way you get passionate about this is to come to classes, to show up to webinars, to go to every training that you can, to absorb as much of the beautiful energy of doTERRA that you can, and just make a commitment to just show up to everything. So when we're talking about showing up, it's showing up practically. So that's to all your events and your team calls and all those sorts of things. But it's also emotionally, like showing up for yourself, showing up in your content. So if you're on social media, make sure you've got your face as the profile picture. There's nothing more annoying than going to a Facebook page and finding a bottle of lavender as the profile picture. People want to know who you are. So show yourself and share your opinions. If everybody likes you, then you're doing something wrong. You want to actually get out there and really reveal what you really think. And that's how you're going to attract the people who are supposed to be journeying with you on this. So share who you are and share your why as well. So we're now going to move on to the second part, which is all about preparing your business. So this comes with a little bit of a warning, because I've seen a few times that this part of the pipeline can get people a little bit stuck. So we all know that here it's prepare, invite, present, enroll, and support. And today we're just on this first P of preparing. But what I see a lot of people doing is getting really caught up in the preparing and supporting, and they fall absolutely flat on their back over the IPE. So I see them creating millions of Canva pictures and ebooks, and they're even doing the personal development, and they're answering a lot of questions on Facebook to people, and they're just getting distracted from the middle section, which is the inviting, presenting, enrolling. And this is what grows your tree. And I like to call IPE actually the income producing exercises. So you do need to prepare and you do need to support. Otherwise you don't have a business, but just don't get paralyzed by them. So what do we actually need to do to prepare your business? Number one, order the Empower Kit. It is everything you need, well, almost everything you need to run a class. You literally just need this, a diffuser, your home essentials oils, and maybe some pens and the Modern Essentials app. Like that's all you need to run a class. So the Empower Kit has 30 class outlines, 30 price lists, 30 enrollment forms, 30 invitations, and 10 5ml wild oranges, which for $30. This is just such an incredible resource. So there are heaps of YouTube videos out there that you can watch to show how to actually run a class. I know, Jessie, you've got brilliant ones. Mish Pope's got one, Carly Wilson. So there's heaps of things you can watch to learn how simple it is. You literally just have to read through the sheet. You can ask your upline to come and support you for the first couple of classes, but again, go to classes so that you can see how they're run and feel into what feels right for you. So the next thing to do is to write your 100 names list. Now, your 100 names, sometimes that sounds really scary, but I don't know 100 people, but just think of first of your family and extended family, then your friends, and then look at your Facebook friends and look at your networks and groups. Like, who are you socializing with? Do you do yoga? Are you in a choir? Are you in a mums and bubs group? And look out to your community. What things are you part of? And then service providers, like who's providing you a service? Who services your car? Or who do you I don't know, buy your stamps off at the post office? All these people that you're connecting with, they are part of your network. Now, if this feels really uncomfortable to you to write out a list, then this really stems back to the belief summit and whether or not you really believe in the product. Think about whether you would hesitate in recommending a great restaurant to any of these people. If you had a fantastic experience and you just happen to be chatting with any of these people, would you worry about sharing that recommendation? And you know that you wouldn't. So if you're worrying about the oils, then it stems back to that belief and whether you know these people would actually benefit from them. And one of the things Jessie always says is, you know, how would you feel if the person who introduced you to the oils was too scared to do so? Well, you are taking away that opportunity if you don't do the same to others. So when you write out your list, you don't have to immediately reach out to all the people you've written down there, but doing this exercise actually really helps you realize the potential of your network, and how when you think of, you know, your hairdresser, and then you think, well, actually my hairdresser's got you know, a group of hairdresser friends, and that's all again part of your extended network. It makes you realize that you do have a much bigger one than you may be thinking. So remember, we're still in the prepare phase. We're not inviting anyone in yet. That's the next webinar. So at this stage, you're really just building connections and trust. So when you're writing out this names list and you're thinking of these people to contact, you can start by just reaching out and connecting with these people. Every connection is a connection. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the oils. This is what networking is. Like, we are farmers, not hunters in doTERRA. So we're not out there to go and bang and get an enrollment. We are out there to build relationships with people and help them with their health. And this is all about the long-term sustainable growth of your business, which is built on love and trust and connection and journeying together with these people to have, you know, optimal wellness. So just take it slow in terms of these. You don't want to ruin your relationships with people and just immediately verbal diarrhea about them, about the oils, the moment that they've said hello to you. This is, again, just nourishing those connections with people. So start to say yes to things. If the school are asking for help or volunteers, or there's clubs or choirs, or, you know, jump in an Uber instead of drive. I know Jessie's had heaps of success with that. You know, go along to your gym or yoga or whatever it is that you know you want to do, things that are aligned with your passions and beliefs anyway, so that you're meeting people that are of the same vibe as you, and just start living the life you love, and the people will just come into that. We also want to build that trust online. So again, back to people want to see you. They don't just want to see that bottle of lavender. So share your opinions, share who you are, and you'll find that you'll build that relationship with people online as well. So now it's time to really commit to action and get organized. So you can do time blocking. So if you are time poor, which vast majority of people, I think everybody who starts a doTERRA business is time poor. So just say, well, when am I going to run classes? When am I going to answer queries by email? When am I going to do this? Turn off the bing of your messenger. Otherwise, you will spend 95% of your time responding to these messages, as opposed to focusing your attention on areas that are growing your business. You can use things like calendly.com, so that's calendly.com, to actually schedule. You can send people a link, and it's kind of like a diary, and they can block in appointments with you. You can create an action plan. So if you say are really busy in the week, which most people are, you can say, right, on a Sunday evening, I'm going to create 7 videos, 7 like 1-minute videos with great content, and then use the Facebook scheduler to schedule those. So one is shown every day through Facebook, so that you're not actually having to give your time through the week to jump on, if that's something that works for you. Book in classes. So decide when are you free to run classes. Reach out to your friends and ask them how when they can run a class, or, you know, ask them, just book in the classes with them, and schedule in your own classes that you'll be running as well. And call your upline. Like right now, just reach out to them and say, you know, when can you come and support me to run my first couple of classes? So personally, for me, I run 1 introductory class a month and 1 themed class a month to support people into LRP, and people do enroll at these classes as well. And I run at least 6 classes for other people, so that's friends or friends of friends, friends of friends, etc. So that way I'm meeting at least my 2 classes a week pro rata. But last month I did 11 of those, and that was a quiet month, so I'm certainly doing more than that. But as a minimum, you want to be doing 2 classes a week if you want this to be a full-time business. So the next thing you need to do is organize your samples. If you're sampling people with oils, they have much higher chance of coming to a class if they've had a good experience before. So right now, to prepare for this, all you need to do is order your US samples. So the toothpaste samples, the deep blue rub, and the shampoo and conditioner as well. They are all ordered through the US warehouse. So you just need to do a US order and dump those into your basket. The bottles, the little 1 ml and 2 ml bottles are what I use. So I give people pure undiluted oils in the 1 ml bottle, and I put between 10 and 12 drops in. And I give people a 2 ml roller with just 1 or 2 drops, and the rest is filled with fractionated coconut oil. So I get my little bottles from either My Essential Extras or Essential Bits and Bobs, but there's heaps of places out there you can look up places to get good quality little sample bottles. Also, make sure you have enough fractionated coconut oil. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't want to run out of that. And enough stickers to make sure that everything is labeled up. Stickers you can just buy in your back office, and obviously the fractionated coconut oil as well. So just spend a day and just make up a whole batch of samples. It's so much easier to just sit down in one session and get a whole bunch out of the way, and then you've always got all the most common ones with you at all times. And I always carry around a little pouch with me that has all the oils that I usually share, so that if I bump into someone, they're, oh, you smell amazing, oh, I'm having trouble sleeping, that you can just whip it out, and it doesn't require any postage or any follow-up. Well, you do still need to follow up with them, obviously. So next we need to prepare. So before we even look into this, I just have to say this step does not need to be done at all. This is an optional additional step that I do, but don't let this step put you off moving forward, because this was only something I brought into my business later. So I do have 2 packs that I make up ahead of time. So one is the welcome pack over on the left, and one is my host pack over on the right. So these are super simple. If someone enrolls with me, I give them one of the 5 ml wild oranges from the Empower kit, and I also like to just give them a couple of bottles, like mini little roller or spray bottles, just so they've got something to get started. and you can print out like a little doTERRA ebook or something, so they feel like they've got some information to get started with straight away. You don't need to do that, but it's just something nice that you can do. But yeah, don't let that stop you actually going out there enrolling people. And then the one on the right is my host pack. So just go to YouTube, Healthy Munchkins, booking classes from classes to see exactly what I put in there. And there's a couple of links there. So if you want to download that welcome booklet, then just go to bit.ly/doTERRA welcome booklet, and for the classes from classes video, just bit.ly/classes from classes. So the next thing is, well, the final thing really is to receive mentoring. I cannot emphasize this enough, that the people in my tree who receive mentoring, these are the people whose businesses are growing. They're people who make less mistakes, and they are people that stay on track. So a lot of people have blocks about receiving mentoring. They say, I don't have anything to check in about, and that's rubbish. Your mentor or your upline can even just go through your tree, or they can just be there as an accountability partner to keep you accountable to doing what you say you're going to do. Other people have said, oh, I feel like I'm wasting my mentor's time. That is not true. You're not wasting their time. You might spend 2 hours trying to research something that your upline could answer in just like 2 seconds. So it really is worth keying into them. They have done it. They understand. They have account managers who can solve problems for you. It really is good to key into your uplines. If you don't align with your upline, then this is a really good opportunity for you to learn both, well, how to not mentor and to mentor if they are really good. So it's still worth doing it, and you can just continue to move up. So if you don't align with the person above you, just go up to the person above them until you find someone who is able to support you. And it's important to have someone in doTERRA. I know a lot of people receive outside mentoring, which is absolutely fantastic, and if you can do that too, that's brilliant. But having someone in doTERRA who has walked the same path as you, even just to check in with and have a chat with, is so invaluable. So just a note on this, please be respectful. They are mentors, they're not counselors. Be respectful in terms of showing up. If you book a time with them, show up to it, and be respectful of their time as well. So we have an action plan. This is the well done for getting to the end of the webinar. This is for you now. Go home or you are home probably, but go now and action. So number 1, find your why. Really work with that. Why are you doing this? And then dig deeper, and why is that important to you? And then why is that important to you? And really have something that's going to get you out of bed in the morning and see you through those tough days. Go and work on your goals and really find out, dig deeper into those as well. Create your vision board. Change all your screensavers and passwords to align with your goals. Go and create that names list. Order the Empower Kit. Order your bottles and your samples. Order your first personal development books, or download Audible and download your first book, and just book in some class dates. So that means reaching out to your upline and doing that together with them, or reaching out to friends and asking people to book classes in for you. Just get it done, and book in some mentoring with your upline as well. So on top of these things that need to be done now, there are your daily activities that you need to continue to do to continually prepare for your business. So using your oils, again, this is going to solidify that belief in why you're doing this and how they're actually helping people. Look at your vision board every day, so that you're drinking that in. Write your manifestations every day. Do your reading, do your tapping, and do your self-care. Now, self-care really should be at the top of the list, but I wanted to end on it so that you really remember how important that is when you're building a business. So this is all prepare. Next week is all about invites, where we actually get into more activity. So I'm sure that's going to be a fantastic webinar, and I'm looking forward to watching that. And I think, have I turned that off now and done that right? Yeah,
awesome. And just quickly on mentoring, I know a lot of people can go into story about, oh, my upline doesn't want to mentor me, and I don't have a good upline, they're not building the business, and therefore I can't build my doTERRA business. Cry me a river, seriously. Your doTERRA business is not actually up to your upline, and as Alison mentioned, you can get accountabilities that are cross-line. You can look further upline in your upline listing, but your business is really up to you. So don't use my upline won't mentor me as an excuse not to build your business, because it's not a good enough excuse, and it's only sabotaging you. The more you blame and project, upwards or even down to your downline that they don't want to build the business and they're not doing fast enough. I think it is really important to take extreme ownership over your own business and personal responsibility. Making daily choices to better yourself and better your business is crucial. But yeah, you will find that if you're open to receiving mentoring, that mentoring will come into your life, whatever that looks like. So if you're saying my upline won't mentor me, you're actually probably having blocks around mentoring and closed off to it. So the more you open yourself up to receiving and learning from others, the more that will come into your life.
Yeah, awesome. Couldn't agree more.
Well, thank
Brilliant.
you guys so much for coming on our first webinar of the Pipe series. Thank you, Alison, for sharing all of your fantastic wisdom. And I love her slides and how like pretty and organized and amazing now. They're so much better than any slide I could ever create on the earth. So I appreciate working with people that are organized and amazing at graphics and slides and presenting information in a really beautiful and easy to understand manner. So I hope you guys all enjoy this webinar. Feel free to share the YouTube link with all of your team members and anyone that you want to see this information as well. The replays just post on YouTube under Jessie Reimers. So just look up my YouTube channel and you can find the link to share. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate you investing in yourselves, and you are changing lives and a powerful influence for good. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessie.
Bye.